Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we have a really interesting story coming out of the LEC. I mean, the LEC is just getting ready to start in just a couple of days now. We're like 1, 2, 3 days away. I'm not sure exactly when this video is going to go out. But this is actually a story looking back on the LEC offseason. This is actually from an interview, Mattheist. I'm not exactly sure who this guy is. He has 545 subscribers. I don't know what his background is, how he was able to get this interview with Miky. I don't really know much about the situation, but this was a really awesome interview that he had with Miky from G2, and as you can see from the title, Miky reveals he almost became G2's new AD carry, which is a really crazy, interesting story, and we're going to review that part of this interview. We're going to react to that and then kind of just talk about all the craziness going on with people talking about that stuff. But before we get into this, I just mention real quick, if you guys are not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. It's fast, it's free, it's easy, it helps you guys stay up to date on all my latest content, and I would appreciate it a ton. Again, there's been all kinds of craziness going on with the channel lately, a lot of just kind of shitty stuff going on behind the scenes that are kind of putting a damper on everything, but I do love making these videos. I love getting content out to you guys, and I want to continue to do so, and I just want to like start spreading some positivity and stuff. I want the good vibes to be flowing, so if you guys want to help me out, again, subscribe and drop a like on this video, help me out the YouTube algorithm would be great. But yeah, just hey, there's a ton of shit in the world right now. Spread some good vibes, whether it's to me or anyone else out there. Hopefully you guys have a good day today. Hopefully, you know, this video is something positive for you guys as well. With that being said, let's get right into this, where again, the title says Miky reveals he almost became G2's new AD carry. Let's get the scoop, let's get the story, and then let's react to it.
Was Rekkles immediately one? You're like, okay, let's try to get him if possible.
And there he's just asking him about the G2 AD carry situation overall. Obviously, he's saying, you know, you guys got presented a bunch of different options. Was Rekkles one of the top options? Was that immediately where you guys went? Which you would assume it probably was.
Yeah, he was for sure one of the top options. Another one of the options. Wait, can I say it? Well, one of the options was me playing AD carry, so that would be interesting.
Really?
So that is, I mean, that's a big bomb. We can let the interview play a little bit. But first of all, I just want to say Miky without glasses is just a little off-putting to me. I'm still getting used to it. It's freaking me out a little bit to be looking at him. But to say that Miky was considered for AD carry, I mean, for one, it just kind of shows how interesting and crazy G2 is, that they are really always looking at all opportunities and all possibilities. Obviously, we know they did the most, kind of one of the craziest role swaps and just overall accusations in League of Legends history. Obviously, getting caps from Fnatic, moving Perks over to AD carry, and then they kind of saw the rewards of that with just having a ton of skilled players making it all the way to the World Finals. And, you know, they really are this team that's very creative with their picks, their strategies, their craziness, and they're really down to do anything. You know, they're kind of the mad scientists of business moves. I mean, with Carlos always be willing to doing, you know, pretty much anything crazy, and their players being able to pick anything crazy, do anything crazy, and really just showing the value of having high skill level players all on your team, and just being able to fit different positions into them and making it work, and just finding a way for it to all come together. You know, they do a lot of unconventional stuff, and as far as the West, they get pretty unconventional results. Obviously an MSI title, obviously a world final, and a top 4 finish at Worlds last year, and now they're coming into this season with even higher expectations. And Rekkles was obviously a huge pickup. Most people would probably assume he's going to be a better AD carry than Miky, but to hear that Miky at least was considered for this and was maybe down for it is pretty crazy on both the management side, but also on the side of Miky as well. We know he's a very talented, very mechanical player, and I'm sure he could do a fine job at AD carry. I'm sure he has very good matchup knowledge. I'm sure he plays some AD carry and solo queue and stuff. But it was interesting. So let's hear a little bit else about what he's got to say about the situation.
I would be really down. That was kind of funny.
Oh wow. Was it, no, I mean,
I'm kind of down with the role stuff, you know.
That was seriously consideration.
That was kind of serious, yeah. Like I was practicing some AD carries on my main account.
Oh wow.
But yeah, cause like I didn't know what Rekkles was gonna do, you know, like until the free agency actually started. So I was kind of keeping all the options open.
Right.
So that's pretty crazy to me, again, because during the offseason, you know, we heard some rumors about Rekkles potentially going to G2. And at the time, I was telling you guys it could happen, and I was getting a lot of backlash saying, you know, Fnatic's never going to let go of him. He would never go to G2, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, that ended up happening. But the alternatives and the things that I was also telling people, which I guess maybe I was wrong about, was that the most likely other options were, it seemed like, Upset, and then Crown Shot being the next available option, where we know maybe G2 reach out about Carzzy, maybe they reach out about Patrick. Who knows exactly what the truth is there. I don't know how much of that's been confirmed, how much of it was just speculation, but we never really got wind at all that internally G2 was potentially considering Miky, and that maybe the idea was at least presented to him, and that he was at least down for it, and that he maybe even for a little bit bit was practicing 80 carries on his main account to see how it would go. And again, he says that these were serious discussions and stuff. And man, this would have been a huge story in the offseason, and even now is still a pretty interesting story. Because again, like he said, they obviously Rekkles was kind of their main option, but they weren't sure what he was going to do, because there was a time where it seemed very, very likely that he was going to be re-signing with Fnatic, especially once they brought back Hylissang. Once he kind of advocated to get Niski, they went and got him for him, and they were able to keep much of the roster together that almost made it to top 4 at Worlds last year. And if you think Niski's better than Nemesis, and the team got better, and theoretically they should have a better performance. But man, this would have been crazy to live in that parallel universe where Miky is the G2 80 carry. Who would their support be? I'm not exactly sure. I know some people were saying Treats was being considered for some of these teams. Maybe Hylissang would have left Fnatic to come to G2, because obviously he was a free agent, re-signed with Fnatic. There could have been some spicy G2 lineups. I'm not sure exactly how any of that would have worked out. And then we'll also have to speculate, how good would Miky have been at 80 carry? I mean, he says his Xayah is clean. He says his Xayah is nasty or whatever. But, I mean, some pretty interesting stuff. But again, we're getting very, very close to the start of the LEC season. I just thought this was a really interesting story. I thought this would be cool and funny for you guys to hear about, because obviously I don't think anyone can be too shocked just because it's G2. And we know there's always different memes and stuff about them role swapping and moving all over the place. But to hear that there's actually some serious discussions about this, I think it's pretty cool and pretty interesting. And it makes me wonder why more teams are not down to this stuff, down to consider this stuff, and why more top tier players are not more willing to take some of these risks in their careers. Like, yes, maybe it didn't work out great for Perks in the end, because he did just want to go back to mid lane, but there was a time when it worked out perfectly for Perks to be able to swap to 80 carry and just getting a ton of talented players to come together. Because again, Caps and Perks were 2 of the best players in Europe, and the only way they were ever going to be able to play together was if one of them was going to make a sacrifice and do something for the team. And Miky could have done something like that, potentially pairing up with Hylissang in the bot lane and giving G2 another opportunity to level up if they weren't able to go and get a guy like Rekkles. Now again, that is very risky. Who knows if it would have blown up in their face or if it would have worked out or whatever. And obviously when you're at the level of G2, you can kind of take some more crazy risks, especially when you have the track record of it working out. But it is very, very interesting. Now, obviously, with everything how it worked out, it probably worked out for the better. Rekkles is widely regarded as the best 80 carry in Europe. He's coming off a very, very good year where he had an amazing Worlds performance. And G2, with him coming over, should be a very, very good team. Miky is one of the best supports in Europe, and he's really a world-class talent at support. So I am really excited that this is how it worked out. I would have loved all the memes and the just chaos and the hilarity that would have ensued with Miky being 80 carry, and just all the comparisons to, like, is he better than Perks at 80 carry and all that stuff. It would have been awesome. But I want to see G2 win Worlds. I want to see them dominate the LEC. I want to see them win MSI. I want to see the West have good Worlds performances and good international performances and start gaining the respect and notoriety and stuff of just kind of the global League of Legends scene. And again, I do think Rekkles at 80 carry with Miky as support gives them an awesome opportunity. I think they're going to have a great synergy. We're being told that historically they've had a great friendship together, that they have good synergy together, that they are able to mesh well together. Also, Rekkles can kind of play that secondary carry role, which should work out really, really well with G2, obviously, because they have a ton of massive carries and huge playmakers already. And Rekkles is that just ultra reliable rock that, Perks was a little bit more volatile. And while he did have some awesome pop-off games, especially in that 2019 Worlds run, Rekkles should be a little bit more consistent, and man, he looked really, really good at times in Worlds last year. Now, who knows how the season's going to go? Who knows how it's all going to work out? And there are some questions about if Rekkles' kind of more laid-back demeanor is going to fit in with the craziness of G2 perfectly or whatever. But man, G2 on paper, this team looks absolutely crazy, but it is really funny and really awesome to always hear about just kind of some of the different other possibilities and how things could have worked out. Looking back at what was already an insane offseason. This offseason was absolutely crazy with the things that did happen. Rekkles coming to G2, Perks leaving, everything that happened in with a lot of the teams in both North America and Europe. But again, the fact that there was another crazy opportunity out there is just pretty funny.
I mean, it would have been pretty interesting. I think maybe I would have run it down, maybe I wouldn't. But yeah, we would see, I guess.
And then you would have had to get a new support player.
Yeah. That's right. And there wasn't very many good options. So,
And I think that's also a very, very fair point that he brings up again, because when I'm trying to think of who the potential supports would have been for this, I think it would have ended up with probably an overall worse G2 team in the end, unless they were able to go get Hylissang. But even then, is Miky Hylissang bot lane better than Rekkles Miky bot lane? Like, I would not say so, but again, at this point, I would not put it past anything. I would not put anything past G2, but also another big takeaway from this is going forward into this next offseason, just know that G2 could be considering anything and know to just expect the absolute craziest, because there's a bunch of people, obviously the self-made rumors are out there, what's going to happen with Yankos, what's going to happen with this whole G2 roster going forward. Know that they are always considering all options, and maybe that is part of the reason why they have been such a great team, because they kind of think outside the box in maybe a way that some other people don't. I know a lot of people like to say Carlos is, crazy or whatever, but maybe he is a mad genius. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. I would appreciate it so much. It really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm, more than you guys probably even know. Leave a comment down below. What do you think would have happened if Miky would have roll swapped to 80 carry? Do you think he would have done good? Do you think he would have ran it down? Do you think G2 would have been better off, worse off, whatever? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, because overall it's a pretty crazy story, and really, whatever you think about it is going to be awesome as well. Subscribe to Tip Dan on my latest content. We're trying to hit 7K as soon as we can, so let's do it. Put in your work. Help me out. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then, peace.